يقول راجي عفو رب سامعي محمد بن الجزري الشافعي: الحمد لله وصلى الله على نبيه ومصطفاه محمد وآله وصحبه ومقرئ القرآن مع محبه. وبعد إن هذه مقدمة فيما على قارئه أن يعلمه، إذ واجب عليهم محتم قبل الشروع أولا أن يعلموا مخارج الحروف والصفات ليلفظوا بأفصاح اللغات، محرر التجويد والمواقف وما الذي رسم في المصاحف.
اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما وعملا متقبلا يا ارحم الراحمين. Oh Allah, teach us what benefit us, increase us in knowledge and good morals and in good deeds, ya arham ar-rahimin. We continue by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help this class of Aljazariyya, which is number 17, and we are working on verse number 12 of this poem by Imam Muhammad ibn al-Jazari rahimahullah ta'ala, who was born 651 and passed away 733 of the Hijrah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. One point before we get into the new topic, which is al-lisan, the letters of the tongue. We mentioned something, we mentioned it, but I want you to include it in the slides. Those who worked on the ghain and the kha, add this note to the slides of the ghain and the kha. We mentioned it when we read the examples, but I want you to write it down, to put it as a point there to avoid this common mistake, which is what? Exaggerating the heaviness of the kha and the ghain when they have kasra. This is a common mistake. Some of you do this mistake. You say khifa, khi. This is exaggeration of the heaviness of the kha. So you don't say khifa, you say no, khifa. Same thing with the ghain. Waghida, right? Waghi. So those who worked on the slides of the ghain and the kha, go to the Google Drive and add this point on the ghain and write this example, and on the kha and write that example. Khifa. Waghida. We don't say waghida, waghi, no. When you say waghi, that is still heavy, but it's less heavy than kha. But if you say waghi, then you're making it as if the same level of the fatha, right? And that is not correct. Okay, let's move now to the new makhraj, the new main point of articulation for the Arabic letters, which is the tongue. It is the main makhraj actually. It's the major makhraj from which most of the Arabic letters come out. Or not from which, by which, let's say. By which. The tongue is a great blessing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us. You all know the ayah, Surah Al-Balad. أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْن, then وَلِسَانًا, right? أَلَمْ نَجْعَلْ لَهُ عَيْنَيْن وَلِسَانًا وَشَفَتَيْن. Did not we make for you 2 eyes and a tongue and 2 lips? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us this, we think? He's showing us, He's telling us that I have given you a favor. I have done a favor to you. I have given you a blessing. Did not I give you 2 eyes? Did not I do this? Did not I give you a tongue? Did not I give you... Right? So He's showing you that He made favors to you. Allah is the only one who can do this. Allah is the only one who can do this. But you should not do it. If you, for example, donate for the masjid and you come to the sheikh or the imam as if you gave him to his house, like you donated to his house. You come and tell him, I paid the $100. I donated $100. So as if you're telling him, I have done a favor to you, right? Well, if you do this, what happens? Who knows? The $100 is gone. You did not get any reward for it. That good deed that you did is gone. Gone with the wind. Why it's gone? Because you mixed it with something called man. Something called المن يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تبطلوا صدقاتكم بالمن. Right? Or you will don't spoil your charity by man, which is what? Reminding others, I have done, I have given you, I have this, I have, right? So we as humans with each other, we should not do this. Except in very special circumstances, like a father is raising his kid. His kid is very disobedient, is being very rude. He tells him, did not I used to clean your, right? Did not I used to clean you, change your diaper? Huh? Did not I used to take you in the middle of the night, right? I just took my kid the other day until the midnight just for a cut. Did not I do this? Did not I spend all day working to provide for you by Allah's blessings? So sometimes you can do this. Why? Not to show the person that you are better or no, just to raise him up, to awaken him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as He tells us, يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا. See the verb يَمُنُّون from men. يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا. They came to Rasulullah, a group of the Bedouins. They said, Ya Rasulullah, we have accepted Islam without fighting you. We came by ourselves, we accepted Islam. As if they're telling him what? Like, we have done a favor to you. You did not need to fight us. We came accepting Islam by ourselves. Allah revealed what? يَمُنُّونَ عَلَيْكَ أَنْ أَسْلَمُوا. They're showing as if they have done a favor to you by accepting Islam with by themselves. And Allah says, بَلِ اللَّهُ يَمُنُّ عَلَيْكُمْ أَنْ هَدَاكُمْ لِلْإِيمَانِ إِن كُنتُمْ صَادِقِينَ. It is Allah who has done the favor on you, that He guided you to Iman. Got this point? This is important. Allah is telling us, He's showing men to us. Did not I give you 2 eyes and a tongue? And this muscle, or this organ of speech that has many muscles, that you can move it all directions, right, left, up, down, right? You can move the front part of the tongue, you can move the middle, you can move the root, you can move the edge, right? SubhanAllah, this in itself a sign of Allah's greatness, right? And Allah tells us to reflect on the signs that are in our body. وَفِي الْأَرْضِ آيَاتٌ لِلْمُوقِنِينَ. There are signs on earth for those who have certainty and those who reflect. Then He says what? وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ means also in yourselves there are also ayat, there are also proofs and signs that guide you to Allah's greatness and majesty and existence. وَفِي أَنفُسِكُمْ أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. Don't you see those signs? You don't reflect how your tongue is moving all directions, middle part, edge. SubhanAllah. With every movement, with touching specific parts on the roof of the mouth, as we will see today, you produce a different sound. Is not that amazing how Allah created this? SubhanAllah. We're going to talk a little bit more about the tongue, inshallah, towards the end, just in case the latecomers will not miss it. So the tongue is the third main makhraj. Third main makhraj of the Arabic letters. Then what is the first? First main makhraj. First main makhraj. Al-jawf. Throat and oral cavities. Second main makhraj. Halq, which is what? The throat. From the jawf we have how many letters? A, U, E, the 3 long vowels. A, U, E, the mad letters. These are 3. Now, from the halq, what do we have? We have 6 letters, the halq letters. Hamza, Ha, Ain, Ha, Ghain, Kha. These are the 3 sub-makharij of the halq, or the 6 letters of the halq. Now, the tongue is the third main makhraj, and it is the major makhraj of all letters in all languages. And this is why, if someone wants to ask you about your original language, what does he say? What's the way they ask? They say, what's your mother tongue? Right? What's your mother tongue? Right? So even in English, And in Arabic, they use the word tongue to represent what? Language. Why? Because most of the letters are produced by using the tongue. Subhanallah. And in the Quran we have this, right? We have many ayat in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala uses the word tongue to express what? The language. This is how the Arabs speak. Also English. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَا مِنْ رَسُولٍ إِلَّا بِلِسَانِ قَوْمِهِ لِيُبَيِّنَ لَهُمْ. We have not sent a messenger except with the tongue of his people. What does that mean? Except with the language of his own people. Allah will not send a messenger who does not speak Arabic to the Arabs. He will not send a messenger who does not speak, for example, Aramaic to the people who speak Aramaic, right? So Allah will send every people, will send them a messenger from among themselves who speak their language, right? Otherwise it doesn't make sense. So, as you see in this ayah, Surah Sayyidina Ibrahim chapter 4, verse 4, Allah used the word lisan to express what? The language. How many sub-makharij do we have in the tongue? We have 10. And from those 10 sub-makharij, we have 18 letters that are produced. 18 letters. Now, the most important step to pronounce the letters of the tongue correctly is to understand and learn every part of the tongue and what we call it, what's the name. So this is the next point, parts of the tongue. Yalla, let's start part by part. Look at the picture. Who can tell me what is this part here? Don't look at the words, because I'm going to trick you. What is this part here? This part. What is it? The root of the tongue. Good. That's the root of the tongue. Even though it's part of the tongue, but we used it with what? Who remembers? Come on, we're still in the first 3 letters, huh? With the halq. What letters in the halq? Ghayn and kha. Ghayn and kha. That is adna al-halq, right, ya Shaykh? The near throat. That's the near throat. So this is part of the tongue, the root part of the tongue, the root of the tongue. When we touch with the root of the tongue, the what? The end of the soft palate or the uvula, then we produce ghayn and kha. Al, by using the root of the tongue, with touching the uvula or the end of the soft palate, as we mentioned previously in the picture, that produces ghayn and kha. Now, why they consider that as part of the halq letters? Because they consider the uvula as the end of the halq or the near throat. Okay? Doesn't matter. The names doesn't matter. Now, the first part of the tongue that matters for us now, when we talk about the tongue letters, is what? This part. This part. You see it? What is this part? This is the root. Then after the root, what do we have? This back part of the tongue. Okay? Back part of the tongue. You have to learn this literally. Why? Because when we now come to the letters, I tell you, this letter is produced by touching the hard palate with the edge of the tongue. If you don't know what the edge of the tongue, you will not understand how to produce that letter, right? Okay, so this is aqsa al-lisan. You have to learn it Arabic and English, okay? Aqsa al-lisan. Aqsa al-lisan means what? Aqsa, al-masjid al-aqsa, right? Surah Isra. Al-masjid al-aqsa means what? Who knows? Literally, Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem and in Al-Quds. The farthest, right? Farthest. So this is the farthest part of the tongue, means the back part of the tongue. Clear? Clear? Okay, let's move on. Then what do we have? Then what do we have? Look here. What is this part here? The middle, wasatul lisan. What is it? What is it? Wasatul lisan, the middle part of the tongue. The middle part of the tongue. Every part is important because we're going to see the letters that will be produced by using that part. As you can see, back part, middle part of the tongue. Now, what is this? Here. This part here. What is it? Say. Huh? Front part. That's the front part. In Arabic, طرف اللسان. Because Imam Ibn Al-Jazari will use these words. So when we're explaining the Aljazariyya, we have to know these words. What he means by طرف اللسان. طرف اللسان, someone might think that this is طرف, because in Arabic, this could mean طرف. Or some people, let's say, might understand this part to be طرف. But طرف here is what? This part. You see it? This piece from here to here. That's طرف اللسان. In English, what did we call it? We call it front part. Okay? Front part. Some people might bring better words, but these words are fine. At least they're correct, inshallah. So this is the front part. That's easy so far. أقصى اللسان means what? يلا يا أخي, boys. أقصى اللسان means what? Back part. وسط اللسان, middle part. طرف اللسان, front part. The front part of the tongue. Okay. What else do we have? What is this here, this particular line here? Tip of the tongue. In English, in Arabic, رأس اللسان, like the head of the tongue. The head of the tongue. رأس اللسان. رأس اللسان. Okay. Is that clear? Now, what is left? Now we have the edges. Where are the edges of the tongue? This is one edge from here to here. That's one edge. And the other edge from here to here. So how many edges do we have for the tongue? Two edges, right? In Arabic, حافة اللسان. What is it? What is it? Huh? حافة اللسان. Some people say حافة, it's حافة. حافة اللسان, okay? حافة اللسان is what? The edge of the tongue. The edge of the tongue. How many edges do we have? So when I tell you the right edge, the left edge, you have to understand what we're talking about, right? How many edges there are for the tongue, Ya Isa? Two edges. Now, this edge also is made, it's one piece, but also we have to make it into parts because every part of the edge will be used for a certain letter. Subhanallah. Look, is not that a sign that shows you Allah's greatness? That this edge of the tongue, every part of it produces a letter. So let's learn the edges of the tongue. This part of the edge from here all the way here. So we made it two parts, only two parts, okay? This part is the far part, or the far edge, let's call it. And this part from here to here is the near edge. Why it's near? Because nearer to the lips, okay? Near to the lips. Far, far from the lips. Got it? Far edge of the tongue, near edge of the tongue. Got it? Now we're going to see Dad is from the far edge of the tongue. You're going to put the pressure here on this part particularly to produce the Dad correctly. But if you make the pressure here, you have Da, which is a heavy Dal, which doesn't exist in Arabic. But when you put the pressure here on the far edge from here to here, and you press against the gum that is opposite, or the gum of the big teeth, the upper big teeth, then you have da, then you have the dad, okay. That's the far edge. Now, the near edge is what? Is this part. Is this part. Okay, the near edge is this part. Also the near edge, also there are specific letters that will come from there, as we will see. Okay, and what is here? This part here, this is the end of the edge, okay? This is the end of the edge. We're going to use from the near to the end. So, حافة اللسان, two parts, or three. The main parts are two, but this is just the end, okay? أقصى الحافة, the far edge. أقصى الحافة, it's written here in Arabic. If it's not, maybe I'm going to change this picture and make the Arabic writing clearer. أقصى الحافة, أقصى الحافة, the far edge. أدنى الحافة, the near edge. منتهى الحافة. This word, Imam Al-Jazari will use this word. منتهى. واللام أدناها لمنتهاها. أدنى what? أدناها. أدناها. أدنى of what? أدنى of what? أدنى الحافة. Means the near part of the edge. And why he said أدناها, not أدناه? Because الحافة is feminine. Okay? حافة is feminine. Why feminine? تاء مربوطة. Got it? تاء مربوطة. حافة. So Imam Ibn al-Jazari says رحمه الله واللام أدناها لمنتهى, from its end, from its end, from its near to its end, from the near edge of the tongue to the end of the edge of the tongue. That's what, who knows what letter? واللام أدناها لمنتهاها. واللام أدناها لمنتهاها. You see how important to learn these terms? It's a must to learn them for you. A must. So, these are all the parts we need to know about the tongue. Any question before we move on? So the main parts of the tongue. أقصى اللسان, what is it? أقصى اللسان. أقصى اللسان, back part. وسط اللسان, middle part. طرف اللسان, near, front part. Front part, don't mix them, front part. Then, the tip of the tongue, رأس اللسان. Now let's come to the edges. How many edges to the tongue we have? Two. Every edge, we have three parts. Three things we have to know. The first part of the edge, let's suppose this is the edge of the tongue, okay? This is the edge of the tongue. From here to here, what is this part? The far edge. Suppose I'm stretching my tongue like this. This part, from here to the end, that's the far edge because it's far from the lips. Then this part, the end, the near edge. Then the end here, the end of the edge. Far edge, near edge, end of the edge. That's it. أقصى الحافة, وسط الحافة, أقصى الحافة, أدنى الحافة, منتهى الحافة. Clear? Now, if you only have the tongue, will the tongue produce any letter by itself just by moving? Some letters, they will be produced just by moving the tongue in a certain position, okay, without touching something. Yes. Anyone knows? What letter will be produced just by moving the tongue or placing the tongue, shaping the tongue in a certain shape without touching anything? Who knows?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good job. Yeah. What else?
Ha. Well.
Ha? No. Ha is not from the tongue. Huh? Yeah. What else? Sheen. Sheen and ya. Sheen and ya, as we will see, when you just move the middle part of the tongue up without touching the roof, that will produce ya. And if you move it more without touching, that will produce sheen. And if you move it more and you touch it, that will produce ij, jim, jim, ij, ish, ay, ij, ish, ay. والوسط فجيم الشين ويا. Okay, any question? Now, what will the tongue touch then in the rest of the letters? Will touch what? Different parts of the roof of the mouth. Yalla. Also now you have to know those parts of the roof of the mouth specifically so that you can know how every letter is produced. Okay, let's look at the picture again. First of all, you have your teeth here, right? These are the teeth. These are the teeth. Now, put your tongue at the internal part of your upper teeth. Everyone. Place your tongue at the upper teeth from inside. This is the internal part of the teeth, right? Now, if you move your tongue a little bit inward, what do you see? What is that? Now you're touching. What is that? Huh? You don't know what you're touching? Right behind the teeth. What is that? Gum. Right? Gum. Right? That's the gum. It's here. Look at it. Right? It's here. Look at it. This yellow part. Right? It's here and here. That's the gum. Good. Or the gum ridge. Gum or the gum ridge. Okay. Or they call it alveolar ridge. Alveolar ridge. This is why the letters that come from there, they call them in English alveolars. Alveolars. Okay? Alveolar ridge. Like ta. It. That's an alveolar. Okay? Okay, gum ridge. Yalla, move a little bit inward more with your tongue. What do you feel? Hard palate. Why it's hard? Because it's hard. Because it's bony, right? So that's the hard palate. The hard palate. Move a little bit more. Still hard, right? It's still hard, right? So that is also hard palate. So the first part of the hard palate, let's call it the front part, the front hard palate. Okay? مقدم الحنك. What do they call that in Arabic? Muqaddam means the front. Al-hanak, the palate. The hard palate. Okay, al-hanak is the palate. Or the roof. So, we have gum ridge. Then we have front hard palate. Then we have bony, the hard palate. Means the main part of the hard palate. Is this clear? Clear so far? Now move more with your tongue. Oh, now what do you feel? It's fleshy, right? Fleshy. That's the fleshy palate or the soft palate, or who knows what they also call it in English. They call it velum. What do they call it? Velum. And this is why the letters produced from there, they call them velars. Velars. Okay? Okay. That is al-hanak al-lahmi. You have to know these words in Arabic. Al-hanak, hanak means what? The roof of the mouth. Lahmi from lahm, flesh. Lahm means what? Flesh. Flesh. Lahmi, fleshy. You see, you just added ya to English and Arabic. Lahm, lahmi, flesh, fleshy. Right? Rikhu. What does rikhu? Rikhu means soft. Rikhu means soft. Okay. Sulb, the upper one, al-hanak al-azmi. As-sulb, sulb means hard. Sulb means hard. Azam, azam means what? Who knows? Azam. Izama, azam. Azam. Izama, this word many times in the Quran. Izama, إذا كنا عظاما. Bones. Azam, bones. Azmi, bony, right? Azmi, bony. Okay. Last part. What is the last part of the soft palate? If you move your tongue even more, if your tongue is long enough, you can touch the uvula, right? This dangling part that you can see here, right? That is the uvula. The uvula, it has no relation to the tongue letters. It rather has relation to the adnal halq letters, the near throat letters, which are what? Which are what? Ghain, ghain and kha. Clear? Now, it's very simple. If I tell you this letter is produced by touching, let's say, the hard palate with the back part of the tongue, then you know what you should touch with what. You should touch what with what. Right? Yalla, let's repeat them. So the area right behind the teeth, what is it? The gum ridge, right? The gum ridge. That part is the gum ridge, right behind the teeth, right? That's the gum. So the gum is not only from the front, right? Also from inside, that's also a gum. The gum is where the teeth are planted, if you will. Okay, so that's the gum bridge. That's the gum bridge, okay? Also, this gum bridge, as we will see, it has parts. When we come to the letters, I will tell you, for example, you touch the end of the gum bridge. You touch the end of the gum bridge. Touch your gum with your tongue. Move inward a little bit. Then you feel this like going down, right? It's not straight, right? There's like hills, like a hill, right? Okay, so that's the end of the gum bridge. Then you have the front hard palate. Then the hard palate, the main part of the hard palate. Then the soft palate. Then at the end of the soft palate we have the uvula. Clear? Okay. Now let's come to the first letter. Imam Ibn Aljazari rahimahullah, in line number 12, as you can see on the screen, he says what? وَالْأَدْنَاهُ غَيْنٌ خَاءُهَا. That was in the previous line, related to the previous line. Then he says وَالْقَافُ أَقْصَى اللِّسَانِ فَوْقُ ثُمَّ الْكَافُ. وَالْقَافُ, in the red color you see وَالْقَافُ and the qaf colon. What about the qaf? What about the qaf? He said أَقْصَى اللِّسَانِ. أَقْصَى اللِّسَانِ is what? Back part. You see, you don't now need to waste time. There's no wasting time. We don't need to repeat or explain what does أقصى اللسان mean. We just learned it. أقصى اللسان is what? Back part of the tongue. أقصى اللسان فوق. The back part of the tongue above. أقصى اللسان فوق. ثم الكاف أسفل. فوق above. أسفل down or in the bottom. So فوق here means that the qaf is above, then the kaf comes a little bit under. Is this clear? Okay. That's what he mentioned about the qaf. أقصى اللسان فوق. أقصى اللسان فوق. Let's remember the previous lines very quickly. Then we'll continue with this line. So what does Imam Ibn Jazari say, rahimahullah? From the beginning, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Yalla, say if you have not learned it, learn. Every class we're just doing one verse, right? One verse. You have to learn it. You have to. Every class one line, right? يلا. يقول راجي عفو رب سامعي محمد بن الجزري الشافعي الحمد لله وصلى الله على نبيه ومصطفاه محمد وآله وصحبه ومقرئ القرآن مع محبه وبعد إن هذه مقدمة فيما على قارئه أن يعلمه إذ واجب عليهم محتم قبل الشروع أولا أن يعلموا مخارج الحروف والصفات ليلفظوا بأفصح اللغات محرر التجويد والمواقف وما الذي رسم في المصاحف من كل مقطوع وموصول بها وتاء أنثى لم تكن تكتب بها. That's section 1, right? That's the introduction. In that section we already explained it word by word, letter by letter, line by line. And we mentioned that he told us what he's going to cover in all of his poem. Then he starts the first section, or the second section, which is what? مخارج الحروف, right? مخارج الحروف 17 على الذي يختاره من اختبر للجوف ألف وأختها وهي حروف مد للهواء تنتهي ثم لأقصى الحلق همز هاء ومن وسطه فعين حاء. That was line 11. Now line 12. أدناه غين خاؤها والقاف أقصى اللسان فوق ثم الكاف. والقاف أقصى اللسان فوق. So how do you produce the qaf? The back part of the tongue touching the corresponding part of the soft palate. Is that right? Is that right? See, that's a typing mistake. Huh? The qaf. What do you think? Trying to trick you. How do you produce the qaf? Soft palate. Look, last letter we learned was what? Ghain and kha, right? Now we're moving, look from the back towards the lips. So we had ghain, then we had, now ghain and kha, then we had kha, now we're going to have what? Qaf. Say, aqq. Say, aqq. What are you touching? The soft palate. With what? The root part of the tongue, right? Yeah, who said yeah? The back part, we're not dealing with the root part of the tongue, we're done with it. That's only for ghain and kha. Now, it's the back part. That's the qaf. That's the qaf. I know it doesn't exist in English, in many languages, but it's very simple to teach it to the kids. Okay? Tell him, he will say uk, right? He will say uk. What do you tell him? What do you tell the student? No, move inside, it's deeper. Just tell him it's deeper, then he'll try to then he say qa. There's practice, then you can, with the practice you can get it. But first you have to tell him or her, explain to them, what should I do, where is this letter? Tell him here. You can even tell him wash your finger and come. Wash your finger and come. Tell him touch with your finger, touch that part. Tell him you have to touch this part, huh? See? This part. See? Alhamdulillah, they can say it. As you learn it, they can learn it, right? Is the makhraj of the qaf. So that's the makhraj of the qaf. Touching the soft palate with the back part of the tongue. That's it. Okay. That's what Imam Ibn Al-Jazari say, rahimahullah. Look at the picture. Let's look at the picture of the qaf. As you can see here, this is the soft palate, right? As you can see, the red part. This is the uvula, we're done with it, right? Here is the back part of the tongue, okay? Back part of the tongue, touching the soft palate. Aqsa al-lisan, back part. Ma'a means what? With. Al-hanak, al-lahmi, the soft palate. Clear? Clear? Yalla, try. Aqo. Aqo. Ta. Qi. Qu. Naqqa. Naqqa. Aqqa. Waqqa. Yalla, let's now focus on the common mistakes, some of the main properties or attributes of the qaf. Now we learned the makhraj. Is it enough to know the makhraj of the letter? If I only teach you the makhraj of the letter, then when we come to a word like, let's say, yuqtal, let's say. So if I just learn this without learning the sifat of the letters, you say yuqtal, I'm touching the soft palate with the back part. Yuqtal, is that the right Arabic qaf? Is that the right Arabic qaf? No. It's wrong to say وَفَمَنْ يُقْتَلْ, or you say, for example, مَرْ وَقِيلَ مَنْ رَا. That's not the qaf. That's not the correct Arabic qaf. You're doing the right makhraj, but you're not doing the right sifa or attribute of the letter. What is the main attribute of the qaf? Two main attributes. Heaviness and qalqala. You see, now we're learning the makharij. Also, we're learning the sifat that we're going to explain in more details in the third section. But you cannot pronounce the letter correctly unless you learn the makhraj and the main sifat. Let's say the main sifat for the qaf. What are the main sifat? Heaviness and qalqala. You don't say, for example, waqala qa. That's not the Arabic qa. Right? It has to be heavy. Qa, not qa. Right? Qa, qa. Right? Also qalqala. You don't say وَاقْتَرَبَ الْوَعْدُ الْحَقِّ. حق. Where's the letter? Man, ra, ra. Can you hear the last sound? If you don't know the word, maybe you will not hear it. You will not recognize it. This is why you have to give it its qalqala so that it comes clear. Why we need the qalqala for the qaf? Who knows? Is the makhraj, when you pronounce the qaf, up, is the makhraj completely closed or partially closed or open?
Completely.
Completely closed. Excellent. Completely closed. Up. And this completely closedness, if you like, because it's completely closed, that is what? Shidda or rakhawa? That's shidda or rakhawa? Huh? Shidda. Shidda means what? A cutting off of the sound of the letter. The sound of the qaf is cut off, right? The sound is cut off, right? Why? Because we're touching completely. Because the sound is cut off, we need, the Arabs naturally, they touch completely, then they release a little bit to make the letter come clear. To make the letter come clear. So what do? They say up, then they release. So basically what do? They bounce, right? They bounce the qaf. Aqo, right? Aqo. Raqo. Al-haqqo. Al-haqqo. Got it? So if I ask you, why do the Arabs naturally, why do they make qalqala for the qaf?
So they know what the letter is. So they can.
In more technical terms, to get rid of its shidda. Because the shidda is the cutting off of the sound. We don't want the sound to be cut off completely, we want to hear it. So they release, they bounce. So they make qalqala for the qaf, and not only qaf, by the way, all shadid letters, except for one, all of them they make what? Qalqala for them. Ajid, qatin, baka, these are the shadid letters. 5 of them, qut, jad, they all make qalqala for them. What is left? Ta, they make hams for it. Kaf, they make hams for it. Hamza, they make tasheel sometimes, and they drop it sometimes. And sometimes they keep it. Got it? So the Arabs get rid of the shidda of those 8 shadid letters by different ways. The main way is qalqala, which is applied to 5 letters, which are what? Qut, jad, only when they have sukoon. Why? Why they apply qalqala only when they have sukoon? Because only when they have sukoon, the sound is cut off. But when they have haraka, the sound is not cut off. Qa. Is it cut off? No. Qu, qi is not cut off. So they don't need to apply qalqala when those letters have haraka. Even if they want to apply, it doesn't, because qalqala is to bounce. After you touch, you detach. But the haraka, the letter with the haraka is you're detaching. So what do? You touch again? No, then that's not qalqala, right? That's wrong. Okay, yalla, let's read. Make the qaf heavy and give it its qalqala only when it has sukoon. Let's make it separate. You make it heavy only when it has sukoon?
No.
No. Let's end the sentence here so that no one will mix it. Make the qaf heavy. And let's make a new sentence. Give it its qalqala only when it has sukoon. Qalqala means rapidly distance the tongue from the place it touched, as in the letters qut, jad. Qut, jad. Sorry, qut, jad. Why? Because qalqala and these 4 letters, how do you make the qalqala in those 4 letters? Aqo, aqo, ad. You touch the tongue, you release right away. While in the ba, as I said here, or rapidly distance the lips from each other, as in the ba. Ab. So qalqala is bouncing, right? In qaf, ta, jim, dal, you touch the tongue, you rapidly distance it. In the ba, you touch the lips and you rapidly distance them. Clear? So I explained here the qalqala, As even though we go to the qalqala again when we talk about sifat al-huruf, but this is also an enough explanation, inshallah. Also make sure, now we're going to come to the common mistakes. Now we're coming to the common mistakes in qalqala. Also make sure you do not open round your lips or move your lower jaw down with the qalqala, because that leads to generating a haraka in the place of the sukoon. As in yuqtal, uqba, iqtaraba. Okay. In qalqala, many people, they don't pronounce it right. In qalqala, as I mentioned one time, it is bouncing, right? We have a ball here. When we bounce the ball, when we bounce the ball, bouncing means what? It's coming, look, at least in the beginning, coming back to the same, touching the same place, right? If it's good surface and good ball, right? Where will it will touch same place, right? That's bouncing, right? So bouncing, you touch and release, same place. You don't move back like this. This is not bouncing anymore, right? If you do this, that's not bouncing, right? You're moving it. That's not bouncing. Bouncing, it should come to the same place, right? Good. That's qalqala. If you move your tongue, or you move your lips when you're doing it, or you move your lower jaw, then that will change the qalqala and that will mix it with haraka. And this sometimes change the meaning into really a very bad meaning. As in this example, khalaqna, for example. Khalaqna. So let's read these examples. For example, let's start the first one. Focus with me here. Yuqtal, for example. Yuqtal. What's the haraka of the qaf? Sukoon, right? The ya has dhamma. If I say yuqu, what are you hearing? Yuqu. I'm making qalqala or no? Yuqu. I'm making qalqala the wrong way. Yuqu. Qo. It's not yuqu. So why it's coming wrong? Because I'm rounding my lips. So I should bring them back normal after the ya. Only the ya has dhamma. Then after that I should bring them back normal. Right? How? Like this. Like this. Yuqu. You see? Yuqu. Not yuqu. Yuqutal. No, that's wrong. You're making it dhamma. Sukoon like this. Yuqutal. Try. Yuqutal. If you don't know what we're talking about, you just need to hold the mirror or your cell phone. Just hold your cell phone, you see. Yuqu is wrong. Yuq, that's right. Yuqtal. Same thing. Tell me the mistake. Khalaqana. If you say وَلَقَدْ خَلَقَنَا الْإِنسَانِ, means the human beings created us. Astaghfirullah. That's completely wrong meaning, right? Just because you did not apply the qalqala right, you made it appear a fatha and you changed the meaning upside down. Right? So you say khalaqo. See the difference. Tell me the mistake. Khalaqo. That's the right one. Khalaqa. Khalaqana. What am I doing? When you open your mouth, when you open your lips a little bit more, that's a fatha. That's a fatha. Right? You open your lips means you move your lower jaw down. That's a fatha. That changes the qalqala and make it wrong. Okay. Khalaqa. Yalla, let's practice this. Very important. Khalaqana. وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ. Okay. وَخَيْرٌ عُقُ. Is it عُقُ? This is why I tell you, I ask you right away, what's the harakah of the qaf? Right? So you have to, if it's sukun, then you have to make it, the lips normal. عُقُ, right? عُقُبَ. Try. عُقُبَ. If you keep your lips rounded, that will make it dhamma, right? عُقُ, no. عُقُ. وَخَيْرٌ عُقْبَ. وَخَيْرٌ عُقْبَ. Okay, last example. If you move your lower jaw down, or, let's also add this, or, who knows, what else some people do?
Make it like.
They raise. How do you make a kasra? How do you make a kasra? Huh? How do you make a kasra? What do you do to produce a kasra? La hawla wa la quwwata. You raise the middle part of the tongue. You go to the mother of the, I'm saying kasra or fatha? Kasra. How do you do a kasra? How do you produce a kasra? From the place of the mother of the kasra, which is what? The ya, middle part of the tongue. You raise the middle part of the tongue, that generates, that's the kasra. So some people, because the qaf has a kasra before it, what do? They attach a type or part of the kasra also to the qaf. So they say, look, iqi, taraba, iqi. See? Is the qaf sakina? Am I making the qaf sakina? Iqi, taraba, iqi. It's having kasra. You got the ya, then bring the tongue back normal. Iqo, huh? Iqo, ta, yalla. اقترب للناس حسابهم وهم في غفلة معرضون. The judgment and the account for people has come near, but they are turning away in their heedlessness. May Allah not make us among them. اقترب للناس حسابهم. The judgment is coming near. وَهُمْ فِي غَفْلَةٍ مُعْرِضُونَ. They're turning away in their heedlessness. They're drowning in the desires of this world. Okay, we will stop here and we'll finish with an important points on the tongue, an important reminder on the tongue. It's very important, dear brothers and sisters, to transfer the Quran into practice, into action, and not be only happy with memorizing it, right? All of your parents, none of your parents is happy only that you memorize the Quran only, right? None of them will be happy only by this, right? They want you to move it, to transfer it into action, to live the Quran, right? So I'm trying, whenever possible, to give you these reminders that are related to even any word that comes that we can benefit from. So we talked about the tongue. Even some of your parents, they want to make half of the class just reminders. Half of the class. I said, no, we cannot do that. We have extra classes. We have Arabic and Tafsir class every other Saturday. And we have a series on the lives of Sahaba here in Kaili Masjid. And we have a series on the lives of the Qurra of the Quran, the reciters of the Quran in Radi Masjid. And we have a series on Istiqamah, steadfastness, even though that's North Radi Masjid, that's just once a month. So there are many chances, khutbahs and Friday youth program and many programs, many chances for you. There's a halqa, dhikr and fikr in Radi Masjid every other Saturday. The stories of the Prophet ﷺ. That's all those series are about the Quran and the Sunnah, explaining the Quran and how the greatest people lived the Quran. Who are the greatest people? The prophets, then the Sahaba of the Prophet ﷺ, then the Qurra, the teachers of the Quran. خيركم من تعلم القرآن وَعَلَّمَ. The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. Only they learn how to recite. Well, there are some non-Muslims they can recite correctly. And they can learn tajweed and recite with tajweed. Right? No, that is not enough. The best of you are those who learn the Quran and teach it. Not only learn how to recite it, they learn the meanings and they act upon it. And they teach it. So we talked about the tongue. In these 4 minutes, let's remember something very important about the tongue. When Rasulullah ﷺ was asked one day, what is the thing that will make people enter the hellfire most? Like this Sahabi, may Allah be pleased with him. He's very smart. He's telling him, he's concerned, right? He's concerned about his salvation and safety. He's telling him, Ya Rasulullah, what is the thing that makes people enter the hellfire most? Why he wants to know? I want to avoid this. Like, what is the most common reason that make people enter the hellfire? He said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he pointed to his mouth. He said this. In another narration, he said, Al-Ajwafan, Al-Ajwafan, Al-Famu Al-Farj. The tongue and the private parts. The tongue and the private parts. These are two things that will make people enter the hellfire. So basically you have to learn about these things. Imam Al-Ghazali, may Allah shower him with his blessings, in his Ihya Ulumuddin, his masterpiece, he made a book, Kasru Shahwatayn, breaking and controlling the two desires, the desires of the belly and the private parts. Also that's a very, very destructive desire if you don't know how to use it, and if you don't know how to control it. So, the tongue, as we mentioned, is one of the things that will make people enter the hellfire most. And when Sayyidina Mu'adh, we know the hadith, when he asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was talking about the hellfire and these things. Then he said, Ya Rasulullah, will be questioned about everything we're talking, everything. He said, Thakilatka ummuka ya Mu'adh. Oh Mu'adh, what question is this? You are asking such a question? وَهَلْ يُكِبُّ النَّاسَ فِي النَّارِ عَلَى مَنَاخِرِهِمْ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِمْ أَوْ مَنَاخِرِهِمْ إِلَّا حَصَائِدُ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ. Is there anything that will drag people on their faces to the hellfire except the harvest of their tongues? The harvest of their tongues. That is the main reason that people will enter the hellfire. Many ways for this. Some people they're used to say bad words. Some people they just backbite others, insult others, mock others, backbite others, make gossip and spread corruption among people with their tongues, make lies about others, accuse others falsely. All these are the diseases of the tongue that I explained in the Istiqamah series, the Steadfastness series, in more than 20 lectures about the diseases of the tongue. You have to be aware of them. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, one day the person might say a word that will make him drown in the hellfire for 70 years. A word. And last hadith I mentioned here in this regard, he was asked, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also from the diseases of the tongue, also that someone speaks about Allah or religion out of ignorance, or just because he read a post on Facebook or he watched a YouTube, then he comes, this is bid'ah, brother, this is bid'ah, this is shirk, this is kufr. MashaAllah, he became like a mufti, a qadi, a judge, and a great scholar, and now he's issuing fatwas. That's one of them. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah mentioned this along with shirk in the same ayah. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. That you say about Allah what you don't know. You're saying this is bid'ah, means haram, means if you do it, we're going to be punished by Allah. Who told you? Who told you? because you read one sheikh, he said this, and the majority of the ummah for 500, 600, 700 years, you throw them away. It's better to be silent if you don't know. Even if you believe that opinion is correct, stick to that opinion. You have to learn that that is the abnormal opinion, might be in some cases, right? Abnormal. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when he was asked about salvation, what is salvation? What is salvation? He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, أمسك عليك لسانك وليسعك بيتك وبك على خطيئتك. Hold your tongue. Means control your tongue and stick to your house. Especially at the end of time when tribulations and desires and all those temptations spread. Don't go out a lot. Stick to your house. Then the last one, وَبِكِ عَلَى خَطِيئَتِكَ. Weep over your sins. Weep over your sins. If you have one tear out of the fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, your eye will not touch the hellfire, as Rasulullah said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah make us of those who listen to this speech and follow us. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.